Hey family, it's Mr. Frederick right back at you. Quick message for everyone today. It's a good one. Hope everyone's feeling great, breathing, feeling positive, reinforcing positive thoughts and actions, words. Okay, guys, I want to talk about how this emotion, this energy, this low level, low vibrational energy disconnects you from the Lord, okay, from the Most High. And that's jealousy and lies. You see, a lot of people, they just say, okay, you could be jealous of someone or you can lie. They're two different things. But in essence, when you're jealous, that is a lie. Jealousy is a lie, family, because what you have to understand is when you look at everything in its fundamental purpose, which we all are connected, okay? We all in the universe have a purpose. Just like you look in the animal kingdom, the ecosystem, everyone has a purpose, okay? The solar system, every system that has molecules, atoms, everything has purpose, okay? And it builds to add to the whole collective that we exist in. So, that being said, when you look at someone that's jealous of someone, what they have, okay, that's a lie. That's a lie to yourself. Because what that is saying to yourself is that your purpose is not important, okay? And their purpose is something that you should desire. However, you don't know their whole story. You don't know how they connect. You don't know when it's ending. You have limited knowledge. Your knowledge of why that person has what you perceive as an abundance over you is limited. And you have to accept that. You have to accept that humility. All this leads back to the belief, okay, in the Most High. Because if you don't have that, you can't even get to any of the rest of everything. Because you'll believe it's such thing as coincidences, which I always say there's no coincidence. Everything has a reason. Everything connects some kind of way. As horrible as it might seem, it all has purpose. Okay. It might not be a purpose we understand or like, but it has purpose. So, but when you go back to the existence of God, you understand that you shouldn't be jealous of anyone. So this is why you need to not be jealous. Because you are fundamentally going against God with that emotion in the sense that you're denying your purpose and you're opening up for the enemy to come in and get you with jealousy and lies. Because jealousy beget lies. You know, if you're jealous of someone, you're going to lie on them. You're going to blaspheme. You're going to do that because now you're saying, I am jealous of this person, so I don't, something I want that they have, is something I don't like, that makes me uneasy, I feel I don't have, that I can't obtain, or whatever insecurity that you're hiding, that opens up for the enemy to come get you. You understand? All he needs is a little crack in the door, a little crack in the door, that low bass vibration of something that's not of God, and he can get in. And this is why we should tell the truth. We should tell the truth first, okay? But the first person you got to tell the truth to is yourself. Lying to yourself is the beginning of that slippery slope of going down of negativity, self-depreciation, everything you could think of that's negative, okay, about yourself, which is God put you here. All those cells, all of those sperms that had to connect to the egg and had to fight for you to be here. You're denying all of that. Enjoy yourself. There's nothing someone else has that's aligned with your purpose that you should be envious of, okay? Your beauty is your beauty. That person, whatever you see in them that you feel, oh, they're tall, oh, their skin out, that could be taken away within a blink of an eye. They could be taken away within a blink of an eye, okay? So enjoy what you have. What you have is special and beautiful in the eyes of the Lord because he created it. You understand? So you want to remember that those insecurities that are looking at that person, and you don't know what that person been through. You don't know what that person has to walk through. That's why we see these celebrities in Hollywood and athletes and public figures that we admire and we put on a pedestal. They're so great. They're so wonderful. They have it. They have it all. they might have experienced things that if you experience, you would want to take yourself out, despite the money. And some of them take themselves out. So we got to keep things in perspective. Be appreciative of what you have, and that gets you closer to the Lord. Not being jealous or wanting something because you just don't have the information. And maybe you weren't raised in a family that had a history of that. And that's how those demons connect to individuals. They connect to individuals being envious of them and jealous of each other, and contains all this low-level vibration. Instead of sharing and loving one another, reinforcing one another for the next generation to have that similar energy, you're tearing each other apart, lying. You have to resort to lying on someone. Think of how low that is. You have to lie about someone's deeds or actions, things they've done, or you have to resort to bearing false witness, which specifically says don't do. You have to resort to that to make yourself feel better. You have to tell complete fabricated lies about a person. That person is that great. Think about that. That person is that great that you can't tell the truth about that person. Now, if you're telling the truth, that's different. If you're saying, hey, this person did this, and even that, what's the basis of it? Does it have any relevancy to your point you're trying to make? Because all of us fall short of God's glory. So what is your reasoning? So when you disparage individuals with lies and you in this baseline emotion of jealousy, think of where you're at. Do some self-reflection. You're at a very low place in your life. You don't have to stay there, family. You don't have to stay there if you're that person. You can improve with the faith of the Lord. You can improve yourself to where you tap into your gifts. You can channel your purpose. Your purpose might not be what their purpose is. But the more you love you, the more you are in line with why you're here, the closer you get to God. Because now you're in alignment to your reason for being here. To reason He protected you, reason He woke you up. When you start going away from that, you open yourself up for guess who? Guess who's coming to dinner? It ain't Sidney Poitier. Okay? So, you got to think about that. He gets in through that kind of stuff. So be honest. Don't bear false witness. Just submit to God. And, God will humble you the more you do these things. He will humble you, and He actually will make sure that, you'll see the light when you walk down this road. So don't go down that road, family. It's not the way to go. It really isn't. You don't want to get attacked. You don't want to get spanked by God by going down the road of jealousy and envy and bearing false witness and, letting those energies get into you. Because your story, your purpose is powerful and it's important and it's specifically tailored for you. It's certain people you're supposed to interact with. It could be, your children. It could be strangers. It could be clergy. It could be the guy walking in the laundromat or walking in the corner store, okay, the 7-Eleven or anywhere, that you need to say one word to that individual that changes several individuals. You don't know how many people, family, that might have been at their last whim. They were just on their last limb of hope, okay? And you encountered them. You didn't have knowledge of where they were and what they were about to do. But as we see, we live in a society where people, you've seen this unfortunately in the social media, everywhere. It's everywhere. I don't care, around the world. People set off and go off and hurt others, take each other out. And it's not that event, okay, that made them do that. It's likely they had some sort of mental illness. Yes, most of them, yes. Makes sense. They have something going on already. However, what stabilized them all that time before they did it? So something was keeping them. Maybe it was a wife or husband, or maybe if it was their love of their children or a job. It was something that gave them some sort of fulfillment that they did not snap. And then they encounter or engage in an individual that could either go either way. It could go that person said something that built them, that planted a seed, that watered the flower, that made them say, this gives me that much hope. I can move on. Okay, or Think about it. Remember, we hold the key. The same thing, the tongue, the power, lies, life and death in the tongue. And so it's all timing. When, where, how, and who. You could say the same thing to two different people. One person, man, whatever. Next person, that's the last word you say. That's how deep it is. So when you understand of walking in your purpose, that's the importance of it, life and death. It's important to walk in your purpose. When you're out of alignment, you open up yourself for everything else. So when you're jealous, when you're lying, when you're doing all these emotions, you are out of alignment with the Lord. And you're in darkness, and he is only going to let you get away with that for so long. So when you have a spiritual epiphany of sorts, you will be able to see these things. And you can say, God's telling me something. God's trying to tell you something. And you better listen, and you're blessed. Blessed is the ones that the Lord corrects, okay? If he corrects you, you're blessed. Because when you don't get correction, oh my, that means, you know what that means, okay? So it's no shame in being corrected. It's no shame in realizing the error in your ways. We're not here to be perfect. We're not here to go without sin. We're not here to walk. I mean, only Jesus was the only one that did that. We're not Jesus. We want to be Christ-like. We want to embody the fruits. We want to use these things that he walked as an example. Amen. Hear all my phones going on. That's right. So just keep that in mind, family, that as we walk today, watch, what you say about people, how you treat people. Watch your thoughts. Don't be envious and jealous of people, because you don't know. That might be, that individual might have gone through so many things you have no clue about. Everything is not what it seems in the world. So some people look like they haven't gone through, they might not have a scratch on their face, but those scars can be in their heart. All right, guys. Remember, love what you do and do what you love. Peace.